Story 1. When you hit 30, you start to realize that your time and energy are finite. Friends drift away, health needs more attention, and your career is not going to magically take off without serious effort. It is a wake-up call to prioritize what truly matters and to let go of unrealistic expectations. Story 2. As a guy in your 20s, you feel invincible. You don't need much relaxation, you don't get sick, you have energy, and you can eat and drink like there's no tomorrow. But by the end of your 20s, that starts to change. Your body takes time to recover, you need that jacket in winter, and that hangover will take time. Take your time. Take care of yourself. Also, time is the most valuable thing you have. You need yourself and other people in your life to stop wasting it on unimportant things. If they won't, drop them. Story 3. This is going to sound dark, but it's just reality. Most people you surround yourself with are temporary friends. They tend to only be there because of what you can do for them or are situational friends, for example, friends because you are in the same situation like university, place of work, where you live, and so on. As soon as that changes, they disappear. This is when you find your true friends or social group. Story 4. Just about everything is propaganda. Your career is not who you are. People do not think about you nearly as much as you think they do. Actions tell the truth. Trust actions more than words. Nobody can make you happy. Happiness comes from within. Pain is the touchstone of growth. Time is the most valuable thing we have. Boundaries are important. Your inner circle should be small. Keep your personal life separate from your job. Story 5. I was always brought up with the mentality that physical looks do not matter. The same people then started giving me tips on how I should get surgeries to look better. I wish I was a troublemaker instead of an obedient child and did whatever I liked. Story 6. Kindness and forgiveness are superpowers. As a boy, you are weak and have to speak up or force yourself to be seen. Kindness is just neediness. Once you get a footing in life, gain skills to be the one referenced, looked for, and the decision maker, you realize what social power actually is. It's not the ability to criticize people. It's the ability to help, grow, and support people. You can create a better world for those around you just by doing your thing. The impulse to force things, make yourself seen or heard, melts away. A hassle with no benefit. You genuinely like people that are likable and helpful. Not the cool guys and girls that don't follow the rules. Being a square just sounds like a mean compliment. It means you're stable. You are comfortable telling those nice people you appreciate them and encouraging them genuinely. No shame or fear of being seen as weak. The mere thought is hilarious, and you facepalm when thinking how insecure you were over such a simple, natural thing as appreciating someone. You appreciate seeing other people grow and become better humans. You don't despise weakness or naivete. You see potential instead of flaws and vulnerability in those traits. You see problems as mistakes, not evil directed at you personally. You stop seeing angry or hateful people as bad, and see them as children in adult clothes and want to hug them instead of putting them in their place or taking revenge. You stop needing things for yourself and are more interested in building things for yourself and especially others. At least that was the transition for myself. And I say this still being profoundly cynical and generally not enjoying other people. Story 7. I feel like this greatly depends on your health. Going into age 30 and being obese or an alcoholic. It is probably going to be difficult. If you are active, wear sunscreen, and check your vitamin deficiencies, it is probably not as bad. Story 8. Everyone is just winging it. When you're younger, you look at elders as if they have everything together and everything is planned out meticulously and works out perfectly. Then you become one, and you're just as clueless as everyone else around you, all just hoping for the best. Also, how many kids are unplanned? Remember in high school when telling someone they were an accident was a huge insult. Then you get into adulthood and realize most of your friends' kids were exactly that. Most people I know seem to just get pregnant and end up going with it, rather than actively trying for a baby. Story 9. Your body begins to break down around the age of 40, for example, aches and pains. Every person should get medical and blood tests done once they reach middle age, just to see how much they have affected their body up to that point. Story 10. You will be underappreciated in big ways by more people than you think. The hardest part about this is that it cannot be solved by isolating yourself, but rather you must find a healthy balance of being open to people while avoiding being taken advantage of. Story 11. 1. Youth is wasted on the young. By the time you realize it's all a game and you should just have fun and do whatever you wanted, you have kids and other responsibilities that prevent that. You treat people like they come first, they learn that you come second. Being a good person and always trying your hardest doesn't equal success. Understand the game you're playing, what are the rules, the players, the moves you can make, and so on. Don't be naive. Story 12. A lot of the learning I do is basically for my own entertainment now. If I don't mainly do it to pass it on to other people, it's basically academic to start with. I'm basically okay with it now, but it was a realization. Story 13. From my own life and mistakes. 1. While your career is important, relationships, friendship, and love are equally important, if not more important. Any job that takes you away from people or impacts your relationships is not worth it, regardless of pay. In the long run, people will open more doors for you than your accomplishments and degrees ever will. Saving money is crucial. Putting away money consistently will save you from debt, financial stress, and feeling trapped in life. Put measures in place so that it is not easy to dip into your savings. The financial system wants you to try to look rich in your 20s so that you fall into the debt and credit card trap. Learning to balance career, savings, education, partying, sex, and relationships will make you good at life and will make you a well-rounded person, rather than one-dimensional and eventually miserable. Money is not everything, but it is very, very important and will determine where you live, who you socialize with, your access to opportunities, who you marry, which school your kids go to, and your overall progress and status over the course of your life. Having money and becoming financially free should be a serious goal for most men. However, it must not become an obsession. Don't fall for hippie new age nonsense that tells you that money is not important. You can't live off love and fresh air. If you want to do something, go somewhere, change your career, find a new job, or date someone, do it today. Do not wait for tomorrow. There is no such thing as perfect timing. You will fail no matter how perfect your plan, so you might as well just go for it until you make it. Consistency is what sets people apart. Everyone has great ideas and wants to change their lives in some way, but most people are not disciplined enough to be consistent, even with their own decisions. This means that the competition is not as bad as you may think it is. All you have to do is be consistent, and you will eventually get what you want or get to where you want to be in life. Stay away from toxic people. They will be a detriment to your life and progress. Do not excuse their behavior, don't try to understand them. Their mess is their mess, not your problem. Get away from them as fast as you can. If your gut is uneasy around someone, trust it. It's better for your gut feeling to be wrong than to ignore your instincts and have them turn out to be right. Story 14. I feel great in my 30s. The best I have in a long time. Got a very healthy relationship of over 10 years. The main thing I did was leave all the alcohol, drugs, and partying behind in my 20s. Still have the occasional blowout twice a year or so just for good measure. Story 15. Doing the right thing typically only rewards you with your own personal sense of satisfaction for doing the right thing. While a lot of people want to talk about right and wrong, they are not actually interested in right and wrong, but only in what they want. Story 16. Most friends are only around you for what you provide. Nobody cares about you but your parents and kids. Don't ever love any woman more than you love yourself. People come and go. Story 17. Hard truths? I'm glad I quit drinking and smoking when I was 25 and started working out instead. All my friends that I used to drink and smoke with are now in such terrible condition, and they look like they are 20 years older than me. Another thing, older people have less stress and depression than younger people. When we are young, we might dream of having an amazing high-paying career, a beautiful wife, perfect children, a perfect family, and an amazing home. But once you get to retirement age and realize that it never materialized for yourself and other people your age, older people just say, nothing matters. So stop worrying so much about your dream life. Just live the life you want to live, not the life you wish to live. Story 18. The bodily decay has started. Now it is a slow race against time, where we need minor victories like staying in shape, eating healthy, and being attentive to the signals our bodies give us. All this is to prevent what used to feel like distant years from arriving way too early. Story 19. I'm the adult in the room now. I got into a car pileup last winter. One driver looked shocked and took off quickly shortly after getting out to look at the damage. The other was a middle-aged lady who was panicking and had to call her son to help her out. I had to be the one to call the police and collect insurance information. Story 20. That nothing really matters, to be honest. Everything we put value on is mostly due to other people causing us to believe that a certain thing has value. Everything we believe as people, we believe because other people taught us to. Nothing and nobody matters. We will all die, the world will continue on, and we have no meaning. Your career goals, financial goals, friendship, and relationship goals are all pointless, and it will all go away eventually. I am not saying this in a negative way. I still seek happiness. I just no longer subscribe to the notion that I must have this or that to be successful, and it's a good feeling. Story 21. Time goes by faster than you think, and the things you worried about in your 20s won't mean a thing when you're older. The little things I stressed about when I was 25, I wouldn't even think twice about now. I try to encourage the younger guys I work with to stop and take in the moment as often as they can. Life is short and insane, and 100 years from now, the decisions you made today won't mean a thing. So there's no need to overthink a lot of things. I also learned the lesson of spending time on people who don't spend time on you. Most of us are going to have a small inner circle. Find the people who spend their time and energy on you and keep them close. Put the ones who blow you off at a distance or cut them out altogether. There's an old humorous saying that goes, "Don't sweat the petty stuff and don't pet the sweaty stuff." There is truth in humor, my friends. Story 22. No one has it all. Rich or poor, we're all looking for something. Everyone has something going on in their life. You are free to choose whatever you like in this life, but you are not free from the consequences of your choices, good or indifferent. Story 23. Family is everything. Work is there only to help you survive. Try to be a good person. Help your neighbors, local hospitals, and fire brigade. Give to the homeless even if they drink alcohol. Compared to you, they have nothing else and you are wealthy. Politics is evil. People always have excuses for politics. Those who like or love politics get angry when someone does not follow. Don't watch too much news. Stay away from conspiracy theories. They are not good for your health over a long period of time. Stop following populism. Read more books. Learn to speak clearly. Reading really helps. Stop swearing. You are responsible for everything you do. Other people are not to blame. Unfortunately, this upsets some people. And most importantly, practice empathy. Try. It works over time. Story 24. 1. Your authentic mental youth is gone. You can be in great shape physically, but you'll never have the enthusiasm and certain type of innocent naivety you had as a young man. Therefore, your behavior and experiences won't be the same when you're older. The ever so popular saying, "It does not matter how your 20s look," is one huge lie and cope. It shapes your mentality and personality for the rest of your life. It also affects your financial situation and your professional career. If you're a failure by the age of 30, your chances of making something out of yourself are much slimmer than you may think. You learn that many relationships between men and women are not based on true desire and attraction, but basically on the fear of not being alone or material basis, either through your own experience or by watching others. Even though it gets repeated all the time, many men still don't get it. When dealing with women, never ever pay attention to what they say. Always, I repeat, always look at what they do. When it comes to your career, who you know is often more important than what you know or what you can do. Certain professions, especially those that require a certain level of soft skills, are brutally affected by this reality. Always stick to the people who tell you the truth, as uncomfortable as it may sound. They are better people than virtue-signaling clowns. No one cares about your struggles. You were told that showing emotion is a sign of maturity, but when you show emotion as a man, you usually get punished for it. You are the less valuable gender in this world, and you are expected to bite the mouthguard and go on. Story 25. Having a lack of relationships with women in my 20s is really affecting me now. I am heterosexual, but I have no ability to attract a loving partner, and I have anxiety about relationships because I never had one. Even on the few dates I go on, when I mention casually to women that I have not been in relationships, they seem to back away very fast, and it makes me feel like something is deeply wrong with me. Story 26. All that easy stuff you did in your 20s catches up to you. Not just drinking and partying, but not using the hoist right next to you because you're strong and young. Lifting with your back instead of your legs. Standing on concrete all day in cheap steel-toed boots. Use the tools available, use ergonomics, and don't cheap out on safety equipment. Your 45-year-old self will thank you.